This is a love poem for a town in Wisconsin. Passivity hath no conviction like a car riddled with gunshots on a Saturday morning. Passivity hath no form like a fist slowly clenching at the murmur of disrespect from across the room. Passivity hath no place in Racine, Wisconsin. If you have time to be nice just to keep the peace, then perhaps you overvalue peace, or maybe you just got a little bit too much time on your hands. I get it. You don't honk your horn because it's a means to confrontation, and somehow somebody a long time ago told you that confrontation is a bad thing, so now you've convinced yourself to keep the tiger in its cage, which is apparently worth your doctor sitting you down after every checkup to talk about your blood pressure like it's an intervention to addressing a gambling addiction. Look, the sunken cost fallacy of a damn near lifetime of TMJing the words back into your skull, omitting the truth, forced cackle to save somebody's bad joke, smile to safety net somebody's feelings, and some type of desaturated answer to keep a conversation from colliding with a well-deserved awkward silence is physically killing you. Every poke, prod, and prick just pushing you a little bit closer to the edge of that line. But you don't want to go over it. You don't know if you'll ever be able to come back. You want to know what's on the other side of that line? Racine, Wisconsin is on the other side of that line. Racine doesn't ask for permission. Racine doesn't ask for forgiveness. Racine doesn't ask. Racine just does. Inauthentic civility hath no sentiment like a threat with the baseball bat just before bar close. Inauthentic civility is for all are welcome here, perfectly placed placards on freshly fertilized front lawns outside of houses that I assure you have no black neighbors. Maybe have some black co-workers, and I promise you have no black friends. But who says who is welcome here? I don't own the land. You're not the gatekeeper of here. So the sentiment goes without saying, you belong here. Pull up a chair, get a drink, tell me how you really feel. Hey, how's your blood pressure? Seriously. Every poke, prod, and prick pushing you to the edge of the line, and you don't want to go over it because you don't know what's going to happen if you go over it. Racine, Wisconsin is on the other side of that line. Listen. New Jersey once coined the phrase, only the strong survive, to which Racine responded, what the fuck is survive? Is that what happens after the bleeding's done? Is that what happens when the divorce is over with? Is that what loosely translates to, fight's over, let's take a breather? Because that shit doesn't compute in the class's calculator. Here, let me give you a redraft. Racine, Wisconsin, only the strong. That's it. Doesn't survive, not lives to fight another day. Either you're here or you're not. So if you're within the city limits, you understand that there is a war going on. And no, I don't got time to talk about the weather and dick around, so I gotta take that shot, tell that person that I'm sorry and I fucking love them, and then make the best with the little time that I got on this floating rock, because at any point in time, you can get got, snatched from your consciousness, from a right hook out of your blind spot, and or eliminated from this earthly existence over beer, over a shot, over a glare, over a gesture, over a drink, over a debt, over a legacy of systemic squeeze on the poor to sustain their status as poor. Yes, the segregation here is as advanced as it is in Minnesota, but at least we talk about it. And yes, the classism is as visible as houselessness, but at least we acknowledge it. And yeah, the drinking is as binging as any bar in Wisconsin after a Packers loss. That's because that's the state we're in, man. Which is not far from Chicago, where Elizabeth Kubler-Ross did a fair amount of her studies and research as a psychiatrist. In her book on death and dying, she introduces the 5 stages of grief. And I'd like to think that she based that last stage on Racine, Wisconsin. Anger, denial, bargaining, depression, and then us. Acceptance. Acceptance that this ride may be the only one you ever get.